A couple years ago, I was at work and I got a phone call, and it was my daughter, and it was on FaceTime, so I'm talking to her, and she says, "Mom, I've been in a little accident." So we rushed to the hospital and spend the day in there and, get home and, tend to her and all of that. My biggest concern was just the protection of her and her rights because she was a minor.
Someone is injured in an accident, their vehicle, their car has been struck by a large truck. That person typically has, more often than not, suffered very serious injuries. Because again, you're talking about big trucks that weigh thousands and thousands of pounds. And a lot of times it's just, they're no match. The regular automobile that you and I drive is no match for that. So these people are hurting, they're in a lot of pain. A lot of times they're calling, and it's been 4 or 5 days since the accident because they've been in the hospital. And so they don't know what's going on. They've got insurance companies calling them at the hospital, wanting to get a statement from them. They don't know, where their vehicle is at. The doctor is telling them, okay, you're gonna need to follow up with this specialist and this specialist. Hey, I gotta get back to work. Well, you're not gonna be going back to work anytime soon. And so they're just overwhelmed, I would say, more than anything else, and seem to be just at a total loss. So I don't know where to turn next. The first thing that we do at our firm when we are talking with that injured person who's been involved in an accident is to try to lower their stress level. And you just have to let that person talk to you. You have to let them know first that you're there to listen, that you're there to understand. And then we talk about, okay, here is our plan. Here is how we're going to get you back to where you need to be. Here's how we're going to make sure you are reasonably compensated for everything you've gone through and everything you're still going to go through. And so we talk about that plan, we formulate that plan, then we put that plan in place and try to assure them that you can focus on doing what the doctor says, getting better, spending time with your family, getting back to work, and let us handle the rest of it. One of the biggest things we want people to avoid making a mistake of is not seeking immediate medical attention. Secondly, I would say not assuming you're able to do it physically, depending on the nature of your injuries, not doing what you can to preserve evidence at the scene, whether that be physical evidence of the accident scene, photos, or whether that be identifying witnesses and getting names and phone numbers. These people, an eyewitness eyewitness testimony is the best testimony you can have. And people's memories tend to fade over time, and immediately after the accident or soon after the accident, that's still vivid, especially something like a truck accident. That's still very vivid in their mind. So making sure that you secure those witnesses' names, phone numbers, preserving evidence of the scene through photographs on your phone, those are the main mistakes we want to make sure people avoid making. In choosing a personal injury attorney, first of all, you need to have a personal injury attorney, not an attorney who occasionally does a personal injury case here and there. You need somebody who works exclusively, if not at least primarily, in that area of law. You need somebody who I believe is well respected, experienced obviously, but well respected in the community. Well respected not only by the judges and courthouse staff, but has the respect of insurance adjusters. You need to have an attorney who is not only experienced, but is willing to go to court and is willing to convey that, and who that insurance company knows this case, if it doesn't get resolved for a reasonable amount, will be tried by this attorney.
Once the case was resolved, Attorney Jean Vaught was able to get her enough to where she was able to purchase items that were not be a burden to her in payment-wise for her to progress in college. So she didn't have any payments. So she can attend college without, a burden.
To the person who has been injured in an accident, who thinks they want to contact an attorney but feels like, I don't know that financially I'm going to be in a position to do that, the first thing I say is within the personal injury realm, which is all I do, our fees are based solely on a contingency. You only pay me, our firm only earns a fee when we resolve your case, whether that be through settlement or whether that be going to trial and getting a jury verdict. And that is a percentage contingency. And you know what? If we don't recover anything for you, you don't owe us anything.
If anybody needs a personal injury, to call Attorney Jane Vaught.